everybody. Bill Caskey, 8 o'clock on the money, on the nose, not even late by a minute today. I'm really glad you're with me. We go live every day, 8 a.m. Eastern during the month of March. Here we are coming up to the end of March. 4 days left, 3 days left. We'll be going all the way through Friday, and then we'll take stock. So if you have a comment, if you want us to continue these or you want us to stop these, okay, with either answer, make sure you leave a comment. As I always say, I'm not positive that I will be able to get to all the comments, but I always do later in the day. So if you are offended by that, sorry, but I will get to the comments. You know, I've got this theory on content, and I talk to a lot of my clients about it, and I coach sales organizations, salespeople, and companies, and there is a reluctance to share content with your audience. I mean, I know that this is not a game that you typically play in. And so when you watch me or somebody out there who are doing either daily content, podcasting, YouTube videos, you will say, well, what can I learn about the content? But that's not for me. And I want you to rethink that. And I think one of the things that gets us in trouble is that we think that we don't have, and I have a name for it. I've got a name for it. I just named it today. Impacted knowledge. Our knowledge is so impacted. You know what the other kind of impacted is, right? I think our knowledge becomes impact. It's acted in to get it out. And here's what happens. Once you start, kind of delving into it and getting out a piece here and a piece there, everything loosens up. And the reason I do Facebook programs, from one day to the next, usually, sometimes I have a sense of what I want to talk about. I don't really usually know. But what happens is it always comes to me, either because of a coaching session the day before or something that I listen to and I say, oh, you know what? I've got a slightly different twist on this. So if you're reluctant to create content for LinkedIn or any channel, just start. I think you'll find that after you do 5 or 6 episodes of whatever it is, you will find that it's a lot easier to do, and that knowledge starts to come a lot quicker. So impacted knowledge, we've got so much packed in up there. We've got to release it. We've got to kind of let it out. And if you let it out one day at a time and do something like this or something similar, I think it will help. So when someone, or we're going to talk today, which is messaging, and I titled it, you don't need more sales, you need a better message. And here's what happens. Somebody comes to me, an organization, happens probably once a month. Somebody will listen to the podcast, will listen to this, say, okay, our organization, we're good at what we do, but we're not great. We need great. But they always want more sales. And here's what they always want. They want me to come in and tell the sales team, you've got to make more calls. Make more calls, do more behavior, grind it out, take more action. Massive action always seems to be the start point. And it shouldn't be. Because what take massive action, and if your message is wrong, you're just going to be pissing away your time, be wasting time. Why would you want to do that? And I think sometimes sales managers just don't get it, don't get messaging. And whenever someone tells me, an organization VP of sales, and says, here, look, we need help. Our team is good. We want to get better. We think you're the guy. Come in and help us do that. I always listen to the message first. That's one of the first things I do is say, okay, how does you as a sales team communicate your message to a person that doesn't know you? Let's just it's a prospect. And they're lost. They have a very shallow message. And by shallow, I mean it sounds like this. Well, we help organizations who are struggling with X, Y, and Z. And that's it. That's as deep as it. You've got to go deeper with this, because if you're going to attract a consumer to you, attract a buyer, a prospect, whatever you want to call them, you're going to have to know what's going on in their lives. And if you don't let them know that, they won't think you do, and you won't get a call or you won't get an email. So I'm going to give you today a kind of force process a lot clearer on your own message. You see, I don't even think you're clear on your message. I don't even think you really, it's not that you don't believe in your value. I don't think you believe in your message of value. And I see companies struggle so much with this. And it's really not that hard. I'm going to give you the framework today. We've even got a document that we use in one of our high achiever programs that's designed. I'm not going to give you there's like 7 questions. I'm going to give you 4, but it'll get you started. And I want you to do this for every different problem you solve. So let's get into this. Number 1, let's just assume you have one product or one service. I know you've got more than that. We're just going to pick one. So if you're in accounting services or an accountant, let's say that you want to focus on accounting services. You might focus on business planning services or, some kind of other cloud consulting, whatever you do. But I want you to pick the one. Then I want you to list the 3 problems that you solve in that area. So in my business, I might say to a VP of sales, one of the problems that he or she has is his people are not generating the number of new clients that the target calls for. So the business plan calls for an extra 10 mil. That means 100 new clients. And I've got 10 salespeople and they're not creating those 100 clients. So that's a problem. So list the 3 problems that your solution solves for the customer. Think about it through their eyes, not yours. Big mistake, big mistake. We talk about our message through our eyes. Your eyes don't matter. What you see your value to be is totally irrelevant in the conversation. Doesn't matter. The question is can you translate your value to problems that they see through their eyes? So in my business, again, a VP of sales looks at their team. They think they're good, but we're not hitting the numbers we need to hit. So I want you to list 3 problems like that. Start with one. If you don't want to do all 3 today, that's cool. But just 3 problems. The second step is for each of those problems, and you're going to say, oh God, this is a lot, Bill. Let me tell you something. If you get this right, your emails will get better. Your videos will get better. If you podcast, it'll get better. Your webinars will get better. Your conversations with people will get better. And by better, I mean your message will be more compelling because it will connect with people. Most messages don't connect with anybody because they're just kind of flying around out there trying to find a home, and the prospect's like, no, I got that taken care of. What else do you have? So step 2, once you list your problems, step 2 is underneath each one, I want you to get some rich detail about it. And by rich detail, I mean, I want to hear a little bit more about it. So in my example here, you're welcome to comment too. And also 5 Reasons Clients is a thing you can download too. It's a document. We talk about messaging in here. So if you like this message of messaging, there's a hell of a lot more in here and it's free. And I'm not going to chase you down to try to get you to join a program. There's a few, a book a call you can, but I'm not going to camp on your doorstep and try to get you to do business. This is a free offer. It's just something that I created. I think that's valuable. It's 12 business clients. So when I say detail rich, go into a little detail. So in my example, I say your sales team is not generating revenue to generate. Excuse me. Excuse me. And what that means is that your targets aren't hit. The forecast falls apart halfway through the year. You might even get blamed a little bit at that. Where they say, well, you're the VP of sales. If you've hired the wrong salespeople, then it's your problem. It's not my problem. So you may experience some headaches as a result of not hitting the numbers. That's an example of how I would go a little deeper. Put yourself in their shoes. When you list the first problem they have in your absence because you're not a part of their life, what happens as a result of that? Is there any impact? If there's no impact, you don't have much of a solution. You're going to be out of business soon because you have no way of communicating your message to the prospect. But I know that's not the case. So whenever you have a problem, I want you to detail it. Get a little richer in detail about it. What really occurs? What happens? Why does it happen? Number 3, I want you to share your observation and experience of what people have tried to get out of the problem. So in my example, I would say sometimes VPs of sales like you, they will try behavior programs where we say, look, we're going to have a blitz. We're going to make 100 calls a day for the next 30 days, and we're going to knock the socks off of this target. You do blitzes. Okay, that's one thing. Does it work? It might work for a couple of weeks. It's not sustainable, though. Here's another thing you try. You try training. You try bringing them into the corporate office once a month and doing some product training. And I will tell you, product training is not messaging training. It doesn't work. It's okay. It's not bad. It's just not going to make a difference in the numbers. What's another thing you try? You may tell them all to listen to a certain podcast, like the Bill Caskey podcast or the Advanced Selling podcast or another podcast. You throw stuff at the wall, hoping that something will stick, and it doesn't. Okay, so out of roll for a second. That's an example of me taking the problem, talking about the details of it. And then number 3 is sharing with them what you've tried. You let them know, they've tried things. Okay. This all making sense? I know it is. I know you woke up today and said, damn, I wish Bill would do something on messaging because I just love messaging. I know that didn't happen. You want cloves and clever tactics. I would tell you that if you don't get your message right, all the clever tactics in the world aren't going to work. You're going to work yourself to death 60 hours a week because somebody's going to say, you know what, you're not making enough money. You got to work harder. And then you work harder. And then you start doing drugs and alcohol and caffeine, and you start deviating from your values. All you didn't have the right message. Your message sucked. Was it in the marketplace? Okay. It's just the truth. And then you close 15% of your business and you come crying to me saying, oh, I need more prospects in my funnel. No, you don't. You don't need more prospects in your funnel. You need to work on this, because until this is right, nothing else is right. Here's step number 4. Where was their thinking wrong? So you got number 1 is list the problem. Number 2 is detail it. Give me a little bit more oomph around it. Number 3 is what have they tried to do to fix it that hasn't worked? And number 4 is what is the paradigm that they've bought into that's prolonging the problem? What's the belief set they have? So in my example, one belief is that salespeople are just like machines. You just give them a track to run on and give them the 7 calls a day to make a run forever. No, they won't. They'll burn out. They'll be gone. And you'll blame it on the generation of people. No, it was never the generation. It was this. You never armed them and equipped them with the right tools to connect with their prospects on. So step number 4 is I want you to share with them the paradigm that they have bought into that's causing the problem in the first place. By doing that, you are going a whole lot deeper than anybody else in your industry is going. Not coming close to you. If you can get this right, and I would do it on a spreadsheet like this. Down here, I would have those four things. List the problem or problems, or list the problem under each column. Detail them, get around it. Number 3 is what they've tried to do to solve it. And number 4, what have they into. I get a little animated on this one, but I find that sales organizations spend almost 0 time on this. 0 time. And they get in front of people, and what do? They beef up their presentations, and they ask marketing, as I said yesterday, for more marketing stuff. Let's have more You know what? If 20 slides got us to 12% close, maybe 120 slides will get us to 20%. No, you don't need more slides. I promise you, you have enough slides. You do not need more. You need better. So if you like this today, make sure you comment. I know we've done this here every day for the last few days. I'm going to continue through the end of the week, through March 31st. I have enjoyed it. Make sure you go to 5reasonsclients.com, download this. There's a whole section on messaging. There's a section on marketing for you, personal marketing. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll see you next time.